Well, let's see if I'm live. I know I got a camera in my face. Oh, good. My laptop camera's acting up. Activate, activate. There we go. Now let's see. Good evening, everyone. Guess I could probably try and move this camera. Let me move this camera so it's out of my face. Echo's gone, I see. Now maybe. No, it's still gonna be up there a little bit. Hello, Gladys. How are you? So I'm gonna work on get this laptop camera right. There we go. I'm gonna work on that mixer cover I have. Let me mute my TV so it doesn't give any feedback. There we go. I fixed my other camera. I noticed it was backwards last time I did a live. So I got all that fixed. Last time we were on this, I had sewn these. And I believe what I'm gonna do when I put this and the other piece together, I think I'm going to use a serger. Um, it's over here, so um, that's good to hear, Gladys. And serge the edges of this once I get this other piece over here sewn on. I tried to get my little camera to work too, but that one USB thing doesn't work. Um, so I won't be showing my ironing table. But what I'm going to do first um, is I'm going to sew this onto here so that when I add the other section, I don't have to worry about making sure I get it in the right place because I already have it in the right place. And then these uh, pieces will end up on the outside of the mixer cover. So I think what I need to do first is get it started on one side here because I'm going to start up in this corner. So I want to make sure I have enough hangover because I made extra. And then I'm probably just going to clip it right here. And I did notice that the microphone was not picking up the pinging on my phone from the other night. All that pinging was my security cameras pinging. It's hard to get them to not detect a bug when the bug gets right in the camera. And probably should have bought some security cameras that don't have the infrared light, just have a no infrared night vision because the infrared attracts bugs. So they go off a lot at night because of that. But you still have to check. You never know about people, right? So I get this clipped all the way around. Now I might be able to move my other camera and aim it at the serger. I don't know how close I'll be able to get to the serger. But right now, with the USB hub I have, I can only get 2 extra cameras working. Otherwise, I would have set that little red one up next to the serger. But I'll be ordering another USB hub like the one I just got because that other one is a piece of junk. I also noticed that this laptop, for some reason, not talking to my microphones, so I'm not using the microphone. The sound sounds good though, so I'm happy about that. But there was a lot of echo when I had the microphone on because if I turned off the laptop microphone, I had absolutely nothing. It wouldn't let me do anything with the microphone. So, all right, now we have that clip. I should be able to switch where I need to move the chat. It's in the way. There we go. Where's my camera? I need this one. I don't know how well this is gonna let you see, but so I'm gonna sew this on. Oh, I probably need my zipper foot. Let's put the zipper foot on. Oh, zipper foot, where are you? Here it's in here somewhere. It's not laying over here. I don't see it. Huh? There it is. Trying to hide from me. There we go. Now we're gonna leave this one out because I'll probably go back to it. And on this side of it, maybe. Come on. There we go. Now I need to move my needle over. Yeah, let's move it over a little bit. Oops, wrong one. It's because I had my needle down. It wouldn't move. Alright, there we go. I just don't want to take any chance of hitting the foot. Let's see if that'll work better. I think it will. I don't need it that far over though. Go. Let's set it to needle down position. I'm going to do a 3.0 stitch on it and get this sewn in place. Just trying to push it up. I know I don't usually do lives on Wednesday, but I thought, well, why not? I don't know if anybody else is doing a live on Wednesday. So get these sewn on. Looks like it's pushing it some. That's okay. I can move it when I take off the next clip. This cover is kind of long overdue. The thing is, where my mixer sits, it's kind of close to the stove. So it gets grease or, cooking stuff on it. And I would prefer it not because it's really hard to clean. Get it all off of there. I scrubbed it for 30 minutes the last time. I guess I probably, yeah, it's all right. I was thinking I should have probably put it on the other side just so that it's working fine. Take these last two clips off and get all that excess out. Put a buzz on there from the batting. Trim this, and then I'm going to trim off the excess. So I'll trim this off. I don't want them on the bottom. Not sure what I'm going to do on the bottom yet. Trim that one off. This one off. I don't need them, so I'm just going to throw them away. Then we'll get the next one. I don't know if I'll clip it this time because it kept pushing it. So I think if I hold it, it should be fine. Let's see. Hold the threads though, so I don't get a bird's nest. A little tricky because even the zipper foot doesn't want to stay over it. Maybe I should have used a cording foot because a cording foot, well, I don't even know if the cording foot would lay over that. Piper, what are you doing? Took her out to play ball to get all her energy out. Oh, mom's out doing her laundry. That's what it is. She went to help her. This is probably the best machine view I got. Hello, Shirley. How are you? You feeling okay? I saw you live earlier. I have to go back and watch it because I had to take my dog out. Some of her energy ran off. Play some fetch with her. And I checked the garden, make sure everything was doing okay. Once I get these on, I should be able to sew the pieces together. Excuse me. Oh, laptop camera's off a little bit. That's all right. Can you guys hear me okay? That's awesome, Shirley. Good to hear. So what are you doing with the upholstery samples? You got to make a heavy quilt with it, or pillows? Make good pillows, or it maybe even a rug. Funny, I'm aiming this in at an angle just to get it stitched right. That's awesome. Piper, stop it. Probably heard that too. Come in here hollering at me. Now I'll cut these off. This one off. There's those. Now this needs to be sewn around that. And no matter what I do, it's going to be, actually I need to quilt this first. It's not quilted. It's all pinned up, but it's not quilted. So all of these go in different directions. So it really isn't going to matter what it looks like when it goes on. So I think what I'm going to do, first thing is trim off this. Don't need it that far out. So trim that off. Do just a little extra, but we don't need as much as what's there. And yay, the arm doesn't hurt when I cut this time. So it had to be because of all the mowing. It's a lot of steering. I must have done something wrong. So I think all I'm going to do is some straight lines down it, which will help it curve over the top of that mixer. Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, I think that's a good call. Oh, I need to change feet. I think I do. I think I'm just going to use my regular foot and not wrestle that walking foot. I kind of wish this machine had a walking foot like some of the Bernias. That's all right. Where it's always there. Or is it a baby lock? I think it's a baby lock. But that's okay. So I'm going to up my stitch length just a little bit. And I'm just going to go random. Get my foot over here. I am glad that this new laptop really does cancel out the noise compared to the old laptop. Maybe I should put the walking foot on. I don't think I can loosen it any further. About as loose as it can get. Well, we'll finish this row and then I'll get the walking foot out because it's doing a lot of pushing here. And this is probably going to be in the seams. I don't want it pushing the fabric. Because that's how you get wrinkles. Oh, I guess I didn't switch cameras, did I? Sorry. I don't know that you can see anyway because of that light, and I can't cover that light. I I looked at it; it gets so hot right there. I can't. Yeah, those samples would make great bags, wouldn't they? Nice and heavy. Probably wouldn't even have to line them. All right, let's get the walking foot out. As much as I didn't want to. Somebody forgot to hold her thread again, so she didn't get a bird's nest. All right, walking foot, screwdriver, all the things. This thing off. I kind of wish the walking foot went on as easy as this goes off, but it doesn't. It's a pain in my patootie. Well, that was easy this time. Normally, I have to fight it. Right in there, didn't you? I'm surprised. Everybody's always so quiet in here. I wonder why. How come? Why are you guys so quiet? Just watching? That's okay. You don't have to be a rambling group. Quiet's okay. Here's that. Put my screwdriver up. That'll work. All right, now I'm going to turn it and go the other way. I'm not going to do any measuring either. I'm just going to sew it. I'm just going to sew line. I think just going this way is going to help it go up and over the top of my stand mixer. I'll probably bring my mixer in here and we'll see how it fits. I had to redo the ends because I had them too narrow at the top. But we'll see if all my measurements paid off. Now I'm just going to walk across the edge here just a little bit and come back down the other way. That way I don't have to break thread. I'll go right there. Get my little nippers out of the way. Turn it. Take my pins out as I go. I don't sew over my pins. I don't want to break a needle. Found these little, if you can see it, they're, what are they, magic pins? I really like them. They're nice and stiff. My other pins, these aren't bad, but I bought some other ones that the needle part was really thin. I did not like that. I like the thicker needle part. It was pretty nice today. At least it wasn't in the 90s like it had been. Only like 74 or 75, which is nice. I'm going to do the same thing at this end. I'm going to walk a little bit down the edge. I'm just going to go backwards there. You know, my old backwards, sheesh, my old brother would not go backwards with walking foot on. I don't know why. It just would not go backwards. Really like this fabric though. It suits the kitchen just fine. All the stuff. My local quilt shop had their garage sale here. Well, was it earlier this month? And at their garage sale, they take some of the fabric that they've had for a while, and you know they have all that designer fabric. But at the garage sale, well, they put it in there for $4 a yard, which for known designers is a good price. Oh yeah, mowing takes a while. Takes me uh, about an hour on a riding lawnmower to mow our yard. But they had the garage sale. Now, mind you, I didn't need fabric, but the way they have the garage sale, it's $4 a yard if you buy under 20 yards. If you buy 20 yards, it's $2 a yard. So my brain says if I buy 10 yards of fabric, I'm paying $40. But if I select 20 yards of fabric, I'm still paying $40. So it's kind of a no-brainer. So yeah, I bought 20 more yards, which was hard to do because this one woman that was there was grabbing every bolt of fabric she could get her hands on, buying everything on the bolts. And I don't know why you would need 15 yards of fabric of one kind, but I told them there, I said, I still have the fabric I bought last year at your garage sale. And I wasn't going to buy any fabric, but it's kind of hard to pass up $2 a yard, right? And I got one that's Christmassy, and I'm not much on Christmassy stuff, but it's kind of ice skates and stuff like that. But I also got a batik that was in there and some other really pretty ones. And I got a panel for my daughter to make her something with. I don't know what I'm going to make with it yet. Um, I don't know, maybe a little throw that she can put on her chair or something. And I told her, showed it to her, and she wanted some blues with it. Now, there's not blues in it, but I think the blues will be okay because she's going to put it, I think, down in the living room. She's going to move the painting I did for her of Paris down there, and she's going to do blues to match that painting I did for her of the Eiffel Tower. And this, let me show it to you. This panel was really cute, so I couldn't pass it up. And I knew She would really like it because it's that time. It's Paris. I don't know if I can show it all to you the way I got my cameras. We'll try. Let's get this other camera on. So the panel was marked $4, but I got it for 2. So it's got a couple of balloons on it and some yellows, and then it says Grand Bazaar, um, Hotel de Ville, but it's got the Eiffel Tower on it, and that's what made me buy it for. And then Ville de Paris and all of that, and a bicycle, and she absolutely loved it. So I've got some fabrics I think will go good with it. I just don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's 24 by 44, so it's pretty good size. Um, I'll figure something out. I don't know. Maybe some piano keys around it, since this balloon here kind of looks like piano keys. That might look good around the edges of it. Um, it's got little squares in it. I could do some um, quarter square to match this, since that is since you can see it in the Eiffel Tower. Could do that too, I guess. But I think the piano keys will look good in it because it'll kind of go with the balloons. I told her I didn't know when I'd get to it, but I couldn't not get it when it was on clearance, right? And then I've got some blues that'll go nice with it. Uh, that's kind of got the swirly that's in the light gray color. It's got fleur de moons in it, or fleur de lune, whatever you want to call it, in it. And I think it'll look nice. I had to get more totes to put my projects in, so. All right, back to quilting. Got sidetracked, didn't I? Sorry about that. It's all quilted, and we sew it together, and then take it over to the serger and serge the inside of it. I think I'm not going to worry about what color threads on that serger, because that's a lot to change, right? If it's nice tomorrow, I might mow. I'll probably have to sweep, because we've got a couple sections of the yard that it's just so thick. You almost have to sweep it every time. I try to mow it when I don't have much um, growth on it, so I don't have to sweep it, but most of the time I have to sweep it. But that's okay. When I sweep it, I I used one of the sweeperfuls to help fill my garden bed this year, so I didn't have to use 10 bags of soil. Let's see. We need 2 lines in this one. But I thought, well, I need to get some of these projects done, and getting that quilt fixed helped, and got it put away. I didn't want that fiasco I had last week with my volume and everything. So I sat over here for 20 minutes trying to figure out why I wasn't getting any sound or from my microphone. Yeah. So I don't know. I do not know why it won't use my microphone. I mean, I get it that the laptop has one, but uh, I had an external so that if I walked away, like over to where my fabric is, you guys can still hear it from me. Lock my thread. It should be good enough. Alright. We need to change feet again. Or should I leave that one on? So this needs to go this on the outside. I guess we're gonna leave it on and see what happens. If it doesn't work, I have to change it. This needs to go like that. Let's see how the foot sits anyway. Hmm, we're gonna go for it like that. I'm gonna have to try and keep this up under that one side of the foot. Well, I don't have enough sun yet to see what it looks like. I think it'll be fine. Just keep that under the foot. Get around the top. What I'll probably do once I sew it, well, should I do it now? I'm gonna do it once I sew it. I might have to take my pinking shears and ease that corner, right? We'll see how it goes. I'm trying not to sew my little rope. Trying to sew right next to it. I don't know if I'll be able to get that in the surgery or not. To finish that edge off. I mean, it's going to be on the inside. Nobody's going to ever see it, but come on. My foot came down. I never do that. My foot fell off the rope. There we go. There we go. No, it's. I'm just curious if one of my other feet would sit on that. I don't think it will. Like, it won't. Think so. That's not all my feet, but I don't like dragging them all out. Just going to just keep the that's when I'm going to have problems, like I did a minute ago. But I'm going to check that and make sure I got it. Looks like I sewed the rope. That's all right. Close to the end here. All right, stay on there. Get it back up there. Get off the rope again. Rope needs to stay under the left side of the foot. What about putting the zipper foot back on? Come on. Let's look at it. What's other thread? Cut. Round. See what it looks like. It's not too bad, was it? It'll be alright. Thank you, Shirley. Everybody's always so quiet in my lives. I guess that's okay. Because I'm usually focused on what I'm doing, so I feel bad when I can't answer anybody. I think it needs sewn a little bit here. So we'll go back up at the top and fix that. But other than that, I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, it does, because I missed some. So we'll flip it back and sew along the top some. I don't know how. I mean, it looks all sewn here, right here, right there. That's just in the wrong spot, I guess. Alright, so we'll do another stitch right here. All this laying flat. We don't want any messes, do we? Right through here. Just tie a knot. I think that's where the foot fell off. Come on. Yeah, it's where the foot fell off of the rope. Hopefully that got it. We're just going to go a little further. Tie it off. Turn it back out. Well, this one fabric really frays. Like, geez. The lighter colored fabric, I did a quilt shop too. And it really frays. Alright, if that's better. No, I think it looks better. Yeah. Alright, so we got this side done. Now we'll sew the other side on. And then I think I'll bring the stand mixer in here and see if we can see what it looks like. And I know that a lot of people use KitchenAid stand mixers, but I'm going to tell you this Cuisinart stand mixer, it has stronger, it's more horsepower than a KitchenAid and more speeds. And that thing will whip up meringue or heavy cream like nobody's business. All right, now we're going to do this other one. Make sure I get it right. I think I'm just going to go ahead and leave that foot on here. I'm not going to pin because I was having trouble. So after that was a Christmas present to me, and I love that thing. So after that, I ended up buying a Cuisinart air fryer and a food processor. So when I make my zucchini relish, I'm not using, I had this little bitty chopper like this big. And that's how I always did my relish. Well, when you're canning a bunch of zucchini relish and you have a lot of zucchini, it's only like that tall, that big around, and it would take hours to chop it up. So I got a Cuisinart food processor, and I love that thing. To pull it a little bit. There we go. And keep the foot on that because if it falls off, it misses. I make covers for everything. I made a cover for the serger out of scrap pieces, scrap blocks, and then two covers for mom for her two machines. Oh, I'm on it. It'll be all right. I made a cover for. Oops, I'm on the wrong camera. I made a cover for my machine. Keep all the dust off of it. I mean, it makes enough of its own dust. It doesn't need help from the environment, right? I should probably make a cover for my iron, but I never thought about it till just now. Right. Let's get up out of the way. Do that. There we go. So when Piper chewed up my quilt, I actually had it on my bed because it had been really cold, and I had two quilts on my bed. That one was on top. Well, some of it slipped off the bed. Well, she decided that it was a chew toy, and she did. Pulled the whole quilt off the bed and chewed that corner off. But it was when it was cold, and I was chilled to the bone. Couldn't get warm, so I ended up putting it on my bed. Well, it's not on my bed now. It's on my quilt ladder. Hopefully, I won't have to redo this one anywhere. Uh, so doing pretty good at staying under the foot. So I'm gonna have to go back and fix that. Speaking of, it just fell off. See, I shouldn't open my mouth about that. Almost to the finish line. Like to tie a knot in my stuff when I do it. So I need to in there. All right, let's see. No, I was on the wrong side. That's why. That's what this looks like. Debating whether it needs a handle. I don't think it does. And I just went ahead and chose those recipe card fabric to go on the inside. Didn't want it out because it was so light. Threads everywhere. Pity's sake, everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. It might rain again. We had tornadoes Sunday. I need to look it up. Last I heard, we were over 300 for the season, which is not good. It wiped out at least one town in Indiana. One of them did. The one that came through Sunday lasted 12 miles and was a F2, 112-mile-an-hour winds. And they've all been like south or east of us, which I'm okay with that, but I just wish it would stay in farm ground and not get into anybody's residence. Thank you, Shirley. I wanted something kitcheny, right? And it's got all these different things on it, these labels: organic vegetables, garden grows, farm fresh turnips, green peas. There's onions, garlic, and leeks, carrots, Sunny Valley tomatoes. I loved it. And radishes. And I thought, well, that'd be perfect for the kitchen, right? There's more threads. I have just threads everywhere. Cool. I just can't get over how much the fabric is just. I might need to redo it right there. It's a little far away. Yeah, right here. Makes it right where my fingers are. Get it a little closer. It's right there on that curve, which is kind of tough to get, but that's all right. We'll get it. Lock in the thread. Scoot it over just here. Past where I had my fingers. Just to make double sure that I got it all. Pocket. Start. Let's see. It just, oh, it's just so many frays on this fabric. And that's why I want to serge it, because I don't really want to bind it, right? I'm hoping I can serge the edge there without, it's just so much. All right, let's check it again. Let's see. That's better. Much better. See this one? Right there, I think I need to get it. Put my fingers on it. You know, trial and error, no big deal. Just keep sewing. So right where my fingers are needs to be sewn. So we're going to start back a little bit. Just a little section there, didn't look, and right here, I can feel it. So we're just going to come on down all the way to there and get it sewn. There we go. There we go. Just more thread, but all right, let's turn around again. It's tricky because that foot wants to slip off of that rope, and I needed it to stay on that rope. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Did I get it? Well, not really. I need to get, I don't know if you can see it, but I need to get this closed up right here. So, yeah, grab hold of it down here. It needs to be like that. So grab hold of it, do it again. Just keep it doing it till I get it right. It might be tricky on the serger. We'll see. I don't want it to cut the fabric, right? So I'm going to have to keep it over or disengage the blade one. So that did it. Oh my gosh, just threads everywhere. This fabric here, Shirley, is little recipe cards. I don't know if you can see it. That's recipe cards. Like homemade key lime pie right here. Oh, excuse me. Hoffman creamy cheesecake pie. Simply delicious pork chops. They're making me hungry. Now let's check it again. Go back through and look at it. It's better. Still right there. I don't know what in the world. Just that little piece right there needs guiding. I like the recipes, but I didn't want them out because, kitchen grease, it's too light of a fabric. So I thought, you know what? Just put it in the inside. Feel it. I think it's close enough. That needs label. Might help. The else seems pretty good. I think we're going to just go ahead and sew down the edge here. I need to get my vegetable blocks made and sent off. It's wrong end. It's a lot of thread there, but whatever. If I can get it right. Alright, this side's giving me a little more of a fit than the other one did. And okay, much better. Everybody's all where they need to be. Alright, now, trying to figure out how I'm going to get you to see my mixer. Hold on. Think. Let's move this one camera. Oh, it can help if I turn some lights on. There. Okay, bear with me for a minute, ladies. I'm moving this camera. And I need to see what it sees right now. I might be able to put it on my sewing table right there so you can see. Look at my TV. It's out of focus. All right. I got it focused. Right there. All right. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get my mixer. Now it needs to fit over everything because it all just sits right there on the counter. I'm gonna need to lift that up a little bit, don't I? Yeah, I can lift it higher. Oh, how's that? Is that okay? Now let me turn this light off. Kind of blinding. There we go. All right, let's see if it fits it. Keep our fingers crossed, okay? I hope it fits it all. Yay! Look at that. I am happy. Ah, ta-da! All right, now what I need to do is serger, and I probably need to put a binding around this bottom, but I want to serge that inside because of all the fraying, right? But it fits good, so I'm happy with that. It's actually a little bit above the top, so I could probably trim this bottom off a little bit so that it comes down, needs to come down just a little bit, about a half an inch maybe. Bring it down a half an inch. But I'll do that after. Thank you, Shirley. I'll do that after I serge it. So let's get this pad out of the way. There's some padding for seats cushions. Get this. Now I'm going to swing over to the serger. So close your eyes for a minute while we swing. I don't want to make you dizzy. See if I can see the serger. Just right there. See if it'll zoom in. I think I'm zoomed all the way in. I am. All right. So uh, take this in the camera now. And take this cover off the serger. Let's see, what else is going to be? Yeah, we're going to have me okay? I'm clear over here. All right, unplug mom's iron. Try and keep from losing the cord. Turn the power strip on. Turn the serger on. Lift up my things. Lost the thread. Get that fixed. Need no threads hanging around. There we go. There we go. And I was thinking you could disengage the knife, but I'm not sure. So I'm just going to be really careful. Can you guys hear me while I'm over by the serger? I'll try and talk louder if you can't. So I'm going to turn this back inside out, and I'm going to serge the edge of these seams and pray for the best and not cut it. So, keep the fingers crossed here. Might do it. Should be able to. But it's a lot to rethread this, so I'm not going to. Here we go. This is well, put that on the right place. We're just going to serve this down. And that'll help keep it from fraying long. Now tighten that up a little bit. Red. Put that red up in there. This will help stop all the fraying that's going on, right? And I won't get that all over my mixer. I hope you guys can hear me. I don't know if my laptop's picking it up. My sound thing says it is, so we're, we have two sewing areas in this cramped little dining room, and we make it work. But sometimes, it looks a mess when it's really not. This corner over here, there's a quilt, two quilts, my ironing board, and all my fabrics are stored there. So far, I've only get that one little piece, and I don't want to trade it. This is not the frame, since I'm not going to go hiding or anything here. Yep, I gotta get my scissors. Okay, thank you, Shirley. I'll talk a little louder while I'm over here. I'm gonna have to redo part of this because it's not really in far enough. It kind of fell off the wagon, kind of. My God, let's get that in there a little bit. It's kind of good. I want it not to cut, but I want it to sew so that the fabric stops fraying, right? I didn't want to put any binding on it. I felt it's on the inside, so I don't really need a binding. I missed quite a bit here, so try and keep this rope. It looks like the rope needs to be on the left side of the foot. I don't think this thing has a different foot. I think this is it, right? I think that's gonna work. So I'll bring this over and let you see it. So I think this is going to keep it from fraying right there. Put surged edge on it. It's a little loose in places, that red, but I think it'll work. Now we got to do the other side. And then uh, think we'll bind the bottom. I don't think I'm gonna put a handle on it. So I can just grab the fabric and pull it up. A little, but not wrong. Looks close. All right, there's that side. That trimmed off. And then I can put the serger away. That looks pretty good. No more fraying of fabric. That was the goal. Even if I did clip my fingernail a little bit. Just cover it back on. Plug mom's iron back in, so when she goes to use it, it's plugged in. The cover back on. Now, I think I'm going to trim some off the end. And I need to readjust this camera. Patient with me, ladies. Try not to get dizzy. It would be helpful if that other camera worked, but you know how that goes. Good. You need to come down. There we go. Let me fix my fingernail that I just broke. Looks like it's out of focus a little bit. Let me fix my nail and I'll be back. Fix that. Alright, now it won't hang up on anything. Out of focus a little bit. There we go. Alright, so looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but now it won't fray. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it right side out. I need to trim a little off the bottom because it is a little long. So I think I'm going to line it up like this. I think I'm going to line the brown up. And I'm going to trim some off that way. I'm really glad you ladies are joining me. It's nice to know I'm not talking to myself. Because that'd be a little strange, wouldn't it? I do it all the time, but nobody needs to know that. Alright, I'm going to ruler. Should probably do this on my big table. Yes, I should. Because I need. Alright, hold on, ladies. I'm going to do it on my big table. Because I can use my big ruler, right? Get everything set. Get that big ruler on it. It's a little tricky because it doesn't really lay straight. Maybe I need to match up the browns instead of the sides. I need about a half an inch off of it. I think that works a little better because I can kind of get it straightened out that way. And I'm gonna, well, I don't know. Let's see. Gonna quarter, make a half ball. Uh, don't know that. Hopefully I haven't messed it up, right? Because it's really not laying like I think it should. Let's try it on the mixer. This side needs a little more off of it. Something. Nope, I'm gonna leave it. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to cut some binding. It looks like. Do that. I was gonna make a handle, but I changed my mind. So, get some of this fabric, make some binding. Cut a 2.5 inch strip. It's one strip. May not be enough. I needed two. So we'll do two. On the safe side. We'll go and see. That's going to be enough before I sit down. Two strips should be plenty. Okay. I'm going to need to sew these together. Hello, Della. Nice to see you. Okay, let's take this walking foot off and put my regular foot back on. Trying to finish some of the projects I started on my other lives. The blue heron, it still needs two corners to be sewn. I haven't worked on anything because I actually didn't feel like it, right? Get in a point where you don't feel like doing it. I did a lot of repairs to my greenhouse. I bought a bunch of fence pickets and um, cut those and put them on the outside of the greenhouse because the boards that were up there were rotting away. And I got all that fixed. Some painting done. I actually, and I painted my one raised garden bed is I repaired it and added more so it was a little taller, a little easier on my back when I picked green beans. And then I added when I swept the yard after mowing because we'd had so much rain I didn't have a chance to mow. So I filled up that yard sweeper, I think 4 times. But one one of them I put into my raised garden bed because I like to layer like leaves or stuff like that to help make some compost. Makes the soil better. Plus, it kept me from having to buy a lot more bags than what I needed. Okay, I'm gonna go back down and stitch, and I'm not gonna cut my selvage off. I'm gonna sew it together beyond the selvage, and then I'll cut it off. And I'm gonna probably have to move my stand mixer so I can turn the iron on and use it. Let's turn the iron on now first. Alright, so I can fold my binding. Alright, let's get a stitch in here. Let's get you back to center. I'm gonna switch cameras, but it's right there. I'll trim that down. Looks like I sewed it crooked. Now let's resew it. I'm good at crooked. What that noise was. Alright, now we'll trim it. Get my mixer out of the way. It's kind of heavy, by the way. I love this thing. Ah, now I can press my strips. Sorry I don't have a camera um, over here. Like I need to trim the selvage off the end here. Get it off the other end. While I'm at it. See, I thought last time you guys could hear the pings on my phone, which it's doing right now, because my outside camera probably turned to um, night mode. Now I'm going to fold this in half for my binding, and then I'm going to press it. If it doesn't stay, I'll use starch, but normally they stay. And I fold it, and then I just pull the whole strip with my iron sitting on it, and then fold it and come back and press some more all the way through. Iron's a little hot. Turn that down a little bit. It's a good iron now. It didn't cost much, but it's a good iron. I needed one with lower voltage. It looks like an old antique iron, but it's brand new. And I think it's Black and Decker. Yeah, it's Black and Decker. Black and Decker makes all kinds of tools, don't they? Yard tools, shop tools, and evidently sewing tools. Almost folded all of it. There we go. Turn my iron on. All right, chair. Okay, have a good night, Shirley. Get this over here. I turn it inside out again. Almost done with it. Just put the binding on, I'll be done. Since I decided not to put a handle on it. I'm going to, but it's my prerogative. Change my mind. So put a binding on it. Nope. Well, I guess I could. I could sew it there and then flip it over to the inside. That's fine. No, I don't want to. I want to do it this way. Well, that's not straight at all. In the world. Who cut that? Yes, I did. Check the inside before I get there, I guess. Make sure it's not the same. It is. It's the same. That fixed. Oh, the binding's on the floor. Now it's on my lap. All right. Double check this side again. Let's get that straightened out a little better. It's really hard to trim that half inch off of it. Evidently, I didn't do a very good job. Just a little bit right like that, I think. We'll be fine. All right. Now we can put the binding. At least now I don't have a bunch of threads coming off on me like they were since I serged it. So we'll get the binding. Get it all bound up. Move that end a little. Come in off that end some. It's not a very good camera view. I don't really have anywhere else to put that mount so that you guys can see really well. The one that I put behind me, yeah, that one don't work. I hit it all the time. So I'm going to knot it, go back a little bit. There we go. At least I won't have all these threads coming off now. Get rid of all that are loose since I serged it. Got to lay down. I probably should have pressed it over, but I didn't. So, how are you doing, Della? Haven't seen you in a while. Well, I haven't been on in a while. And I've been kind of lurking in all the other videos here. Just walk, not talking. Watch, not talking, I mean. This is worse than binding a quilt. Except there's no corners. You're just going around it. But it got everything in the way, right? Put through there. It doesn't want to go over that rope. There we go. Alright. I think, actually, I'm just going to go beyond this section and fold my ends in. Fold those in and cover that other piece of binding. And then I won't have any raw edges. There we go. Oh, oh, what did I not do? Haven't sewn it yet. Didn't fold this one in. Well, get to tuck it in. That's okay. I don't mind. I know sometimes I say it's awful quiet in here, but that's okay. Because if I'm busy, I don't want to get um, lost in missing all the chatting, right? Okay, get the seam ripper out so I can get this over top of it. I shouldn't have cut it, I guess. That's okay. That should do it. Lay that up inside there. And I'll have to worry about it. Put it up inside and just sew it all down. Start back a little bit. Hold my thread so I don't get no bird's nest. And there goes back ribs. There's that side. Going on there. Alright. Turn it off. Well, I don't really have to. I just turn it here and then sew it down. Like so. And I'll just turn it as I go. Set my needle. Off the back stitches. That might need trimmed a little bit. We'll fix that. Don't want too bulky in place. Not be able to get it turned. All right. Almost finished with it, ladies. This has been a long time coming. I thought about this for a while. Then when I went to make mom's birthday cakes in March is when I decided I needed a cover because I had to scrub my mixer for 30 minutes before I could use it because of all the grease and, whatever from being next to the stove. Thought that thing needs a cover. Come on. Thank you. So the cover's probably not perfect, but it's going to do what I want it to do, right? All right, quit getting hung up on the table. And this darker fabric will help hide any the grease and stuff. Yeah, it was just, oh my gosh. I was so aggravated. I love my mixer. That was a really good gift. Mom always gets me really good gifts, and she won't let me get her anything, which I don't think is fair, but whatever. I bought her trees for Mother's Day because there's no shade and the sun goes down. It heats the house up because that whole side is no trees. So I got her trees for Mother's Day a few years ago. They're getting pretty big, so they're helping with the shade. I think so too, Della. I think it'll work just fine. But the dark colors will help hide anything and, well, you know how potholders get. I don't think these will get as bad. This will get as bad, but potholders, no magic cure to getting those things clean, is there? Making new ones. Almost to the end. And I'll turn it towards my mixer so you guys can see it on the mixer and finished. That is not a thread. That's one of my hairs. Swear I lose so much hair. I can't afford to lose it. My hair's thin enough as it is. Well, that's a little funky, but it'll be all right. Right? That's what I was thinking. You can't get them clean, just sew a new one. Make a new one. There we go. All right, now I'm going to move this camera, and I don't want to make you sick, but I'm going to move it so you can see my mixer. Go up. Oops, too far. Looks like this is in the way. Let's move that over out of the way. There we go. Is it focused? Probably not. There we go. Now turn my mixer sideways. There we go. It's heavy, by the way. It's a good thing I don't have to slide it on the counter to bring it out where I can use it, because if I had to pick it up all the time, I would never use it. There we go. Move the camera mounts. Away. And there we go. All done. Now it's still out of focus, isn't it? Is that better? I can see it on my TV. There we go. I know, I love that mixer. It's a Cuisinart. Um, and it has 12 speeds. I have an adapter that goes in here for making my pasta, which is a lifesaver. And I gave my daughter those little ones that clip to the counter. Project done. Yes, ma'am. So, are there any questions from anybody that's in chat? Thank you, Della. That wasn't too bad. Not quite 2 hours, but I think it turned out okay. I love the fabric. Now, let me turn it sideways again so you guys can look at it. There we go. Turn it sideways. Yeah. It's like there's a couple threads I need to snip. But that fabric frayed and frayed. Not, it was the fabric that was on the inside. It was just a mess. There we go. So now I can cover her up and not have to worry about her. But if there's no questions, I think I'm going to call it. Thank you, Della. Well, what else do I have that needs finished? I need to make my vegetable garden blocks for the swap, and that would include doing my brother, using my brother's ScanNCut over there. I let's tell you, camera, come on. There we go. I put my orange quilt back on hold for now. I'm just not feeling it. I have two borders to put on the iris quilt, and my daughter wants to hang it, so it's going to have something that she can hang it with. And she doesn't want to use it. She just wants to hang it on one of her big walls. And I told her it's really big. She says, I got a really big wall, Mom. Okay. So I need to do that. I need to do the blue heron, but I'm actually not feeling it. So I think I'm actually going to take it off the design wall and put it up for now. So maybe I'll do one with the ScanNCut. We'll see. And do my appliques for the vegetable swap. I don't know when. Probably not this weekend, but maybe sometime next week. I'll set upcoming for it. So I think that's it for tonight. Thank you to everybody who came. I appreciate all of you.